the pre-flight for turning. So the aim of this pre-flight is to learn how to initiate a level turn, climbing turn, and a descending turn at varying angles of bank in flight. So today we're looking at the techniques, procedures of how to turn the airplane and the different um, angles of bank required to do so. So the motivation behind today's lesson is it allows us to not only turn in and navigate and maneuver in the training area, but also to nearby airports when you start your private pilot's license. So in terms of the airplane, so our airplane today, we'll just say the registration is Alpha Bravo Charlie. The airplane is a Warrior, so Piper Warrior. The fuel, let's say we've got 110 litres, done the pre-flight. Oil, we've got 6.5 quarts. Flight time today will be 1 hour, and ATIS, let's say we've got information Bravo. So in terms of the ready calls, so if there's any easy ready calls, I'll get you to do. But mostly I just want you to focus on flying the airplane. So start up to run us will be done by you. Takeoff will be done by the both of us. So I'll be actually taking off the airplane, but I want your hands hovering over the or touching the control column. But I don't want you providing movement. I just want you to have a feel for how to take off the airplane. Departure, what we're done by both of us. We can practice some of our climbs. Training will be done by both of us. So I'll demonstrate the maneuver, then I'll hand over you. Arrival, both of us we can practice our climbing and also our descending turns. Landing by me, taxiing by you, and shut down by both of us. So types of turns. So all of our turns today we've flown to 360 degrees. So we've got medium level turns which will be flown at, and I'll show you as well the 10, 20, and 30 degree angle bank. Most common angle bank is 30 degree, and I'll ask you, in flight, where is that horizon cutting? You want to sort of hold that attitude, hold that pizza slice, and do you maintain your ALAP? And it's really important to hold the attitude. Not only does it determine our pitch and that's required, but also our angle of bank. So that's why attitude is very important in the turn. Climbing turns, so it's done at 15 degrees angle bank to preserve climb performance. And that's one of the threats that exist in this lesson, the threat of stall, the aerobic excessive angle bank, and then desired aircraft state wheel loss of control. So make sure you manage it by using maintaining angle of bank. So our next is our descending turn, which we'll do at 30 degrees angle bank. So remember we're descending, so seeing a lot more ground, a lot more sky, and the reason why we do it is you're doing circuits, and you want to turn onto base and also start descending the airplane. What you'll see in terms of attitude is you'll see a lot more ground because you're descending, but you'll see that 30 degree angle of bank, so that pizza slice. So factors affecting turn performance. So we've got the overbank and underbank situation. So overbank for the medium and climbing turns, and underbank for the descending turns. So balance, skidding, slipping. Make sure you step on the ball, and I'll show you as well what skidding and slipping looks like. Skidding if you have too much rudder, slipping's not enough rudder. Adverse yaw. So that's why we do BBB. We apply that balance so we can overcome the effects of the adverse yaw. So in terms of turn performance, so angle of bank. So if we increase angle of bank, our radius decreases and our rate of turn increases. So we finish at 360 degrees a lot quicker. Airspeed, and that's what we see as well in flight. Airspeed, if you increase your airspeed, you're traveling greater distance, so you have a larger radius and a smaller rate of turn. So in terms of applications, so we'll have a look at the medium, climbing, and descending turns. So we'll start off by doing our pre-entry checks. So reference point selected, because remember we've got that threat of loss of situation awareness. The management technique will be anticipate and prominent reference point, and the undesired aircraft state will be disorientation. So make sure the error will be not choosing will be choosing a poor reference point, so make sure you choose a good prominent reference point. And I'll show you as well good reference points we can use. Carby as required, so we need that below 2000 RPM. And then mixture, fully rich, and then checking your T's and P's in the green. And then you're doing good thorough lookout, because one of the threats that exists, there's a threat that exists in this list. There will be failing to clear turn. Management will be clear turn, ALAP cycle, and the undesired aircraft state will be air proximity event. So the threat that exists in this lesson is traffic, so make sure you manage it by clearing the turn and doing your ALAP cycle. So past is how we will fly the airplane. So we'll either normal, climb, or descent configuration, and then make sure you apply a bit of right rudder if you're climbing, and a little bit of left rudder if you're descending the airplane. So put the airplane in the climb and descent first, then turn the airplane. So entry is done using BBB, so it's usually for a 30 degree turn. It's a bank, so bank using your ailerons 30 degrees, balance using your rudder pedals to balance the airplane, and then back pressure past 30 degrees, applying a bit of back pressure to compensate um, um, for the lift not being enough to support the airplane in level flight. So that's why I apply a bit of back pressure. So maintenance is done using ALAP cycles. As I mentioned, it's extremely important to maintain the ALAP cycle. Checking both pitch and bank with that pizza slice. Look out in direction of turn, attitude, and performance. For a medium level turn, make sure you're maintaining height, you're balanced, you've got 30 degrees on the artificial rise. And if you've got a climb, you're maintaining 79 knots, or a descent, you're maintaining 73 knots. And then your exit is done using anti-straight reference point, so 10 degrees left or right. So if you're turning, if you as a student, you're turning towards left, you've got to see that really anticipate the reference point. But if you're turning towards the right, you'll see it come through your windscreen, so you've got a little bit more time. And then you're exiting using BBB once again. So bank, balance, back pressure. In reverse, so bank, wings level, balance pull, centered, and back pressure relaxed. And then you're leveling off at your desired height, so asked to gain some speed, and back into normal configuration, and A pass as well in the normal configuration if you're leveling off from a descent. So competencies, no competencies for this lesson, but a few things I'll be looking for: part 61 manual standards, complete checks in accordance with checklists, so follow that really thoroughly. Plus or minus 1.5 meters from sun line during taxi, so make sure that yellow sun line goes in between your legs. Plus or minus 10 degrees roll out on a specified heading, so really anticipate that reference point. And so that's why you must choose a good prompt reference point and do not exceed maximum angle bank, as you could stall the airplane in a climbing turn, or you could exceed the load factor, especially since descending turns are at low level, which could also stall. Airmanship, so what do we do before a turn? So we clear, we do our pre-entry checks and clear the airspace, have a good active listening watch in the training area, utilizing it, handing over, taking over procedure as well. Smooth control and power input, so in terms of the throttle, make sure you have smooth movements, and in terms of the control column, so makes it a lot more comfortable to fly. Our minimum altitude, so you've got 800 feet, so 500 feet AGL non-populated, 1,000 feet AGL populated, so in the training it will be 800 feet non-populated and 1,300 feet populated, and our maintenance cycle is the ALAP cycle, so it's important to maintain the ALAP cycle, as that's a key to maintaining a successful turn. So thank you all so much for listening to the Turning Preflight.